So traders, I want to give you a bit of an update across the markets today. Right now we have a scenario where we are potentially, we're in a bit of a do or die situation here when it comes to the S&P 500. I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm seeing here. We're at short-term resistance. There's a bit of a long-term support. Which one's going to win here? And what's likely to happen? Because it's really important right now for you guys. I tell you, really important for you guys to be alert to what the market is doing right now and to continue to watch the story, because the market is telling us what's likely to happen moving forward. Plus also, silver is not looking too good, and it looks like we're about to break support and we're about to see a really hard and fast flush down. So let's get straight into today's update. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get into today's update. Traders, I have a full complete breakthrough trading course. And I'm actually running a sale today just for $7, right? So $7 only. Very first link in the description. I think it's only for today and tomorrow. For the next couple of days, I'm going to be just doing it. This is a full complete membership here. You're going to absolutely love it. If you need help right now, guys, only $7. And again, I'm only running that for the next couple of days only. Then it's going back to the normal price. This is the full complete membership, right? So anyway, you can see all the details. Very first thing in the description below. Go over and get access to that right now. Again, just $7 only. And again, guys, and if you're not happy with it, just you can keep the membership access, and I'm happy to refund your money as well too, right? Just go check it out. I promise you'll be like, oh my goodness, this is awesome. What's next one? All right, cool. So let's actually start with the S&P 500. We can see that we are let's actually start with a short-term basis, absolute short-term basis here. Let's just take all the moving averages off the screen. Let's actually go back to basics. Let's start with step by step. The first thing I'm seeing here, and the one thing I've been talking about for the last few days, is that we've had this lower low here. This is always a warning sign, okay? The market gives us warning signs. So remember, in an upward trend, what do we have? We actually have higher lows and higher highs. You know what? I want to make that blue because I like the blue color. Where is the blue color? There we go. I like blue. Okay, so we have higher lows and higher highs. But if the market rips a lower low, it then rallies up. If this is a lower high here right now, then we're probably going to see that. But the question is it going to be that? That's always the question mark, right? And just like, and this is where it's like, what's this here? What are you doing? Okay, because there's two different scenarios here right now. It's very hard. We need to keep an eye out for, because both can produce big moves. Okay, so. And if you look at what the Bitcoin did the exact same formations, right? Look back here. So this is where, guys, it's very important to not preempt of what the market is going to do, not try to think you know what's going to happen, but just keep an eye on what's going on in the market. So look at this low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Look at this lower low. That's exactly what the S&P 500 did, right? Now look at this here. Bitcoin what? Ripped up just like the S&P 500 did. So are we about to see this? That's always the question mark, right? If we do start to roll over like this, and then we break these previous lows, that's when we can see a hard and flush down. Remember, lower high, breaking past previous lows, that's when it's like, okay guys, sellers are in control, waterworks are coming, okay? So if we go back to the S&P 500 again, we can see that not only about the short-term resistance here, but again, this lower low formation here, lower low formation, and a rip to the upside. Guess what? It's now actually at that area of what? Long-term, we're actually having a resistance here. So remember I said before, this is by exactly what Bitcoin did, then we ripped. The key is what happens over the next few weeks. Because if we do start to rip to the downside like this, and we break this previous low, there's a few major things that's happening here. Firstly, this is now the very first time the sellers are the market saying we're now likely to drop like a rock. And when we do this, remember what Bitcoin did, right? Remember when we broke the previous lows, then we saw the waterworks come out of it. So the markets, this is like, what's going to happen here, right? So that's the first scenario. But the second thing is, if you look at this long-term trend line that I've got here, ever since the start of 2019, you have this massive trend line that's definitely a strong support and resistance level in the markets. You can see how recently it bounced off. So not only, if we do, guys, over the next few weeks, start to roll over and start to break this low, not only are we breaking this significant major trend line, but now this is the very first time the sellers came in and the sellers are knocking it down. So that's the first scenario. Remember I said before, guys, right? It's like, which way is this Dow Jones or the S&P 500 going to break? Keep an eye on it, guys, because the market is talking to us, okay? And I'm telling you right now that if we do start to roll over here and we start to break this previous low, 4,300, then the longs are going to get destroyed. And then we're going to see some fireworks in the markets to the downside. Fireworks like, right? And the firework actually that's not a good analogy, isn't it? A big dump, right? Donkey Kong's not coming to town. Donkey Kong just took it. Oh, John. So that's what we're seeing there. Now, but here's the other thing, right? Due to the fact of the nature of the beast of where we are right now with the 0% interest rates and the non-tapering event, and obviously the liquidity in the markets, this could just be a nice, healthy pullback before we see a rip up. Now, if it is going to be a rip up, if I squeeze my charts up and I take this short-term trend line off, because that's just for the short term, this long term, and I see this here, if this doesn't make a lower high over the next few days and we start to rally back up to all-time new highs like this, guess what, guys? Game on. Game on. For what? The bulls. And that's when we're probably going to see one crazy move. So that's where, guys, we need to be prepared for what's likely to happen. If we do start to break previous highs, get prepared for a crazy 3-month finish to the rest of this year. If we don't, and we start to roll over here, we start to break these previous lows like that, guess what? Get ready for a pretty crazy move on the downside. And I would say if that did happen, then we're probably likely to see something like a 38% retracement of this in down move, this whole pullback from that point there. That's actually a 20%. So I reckon maybe even a 10% move at least. So back down towards 4,000, maybe a bit lower to correct this move. So that's where we are right now, guys, okay? And again, if you are long, you are short, you are whatever these markets right now, then, okay, cool. But you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. If you are long the market right now, and you want this market to make good moves, like I'm long right now, guys, okay? But if the market does start to roll over, I can ignore the market telling me what's happening when the market's rolling over. Hasn't happened yet, okay? If it does happen there, I can ignore that, but I can't ignore the consequences of ignoring that, right? And if the market does roll over and break the previous low, like I just mentioned, then the fireworks are going to happen on the downside. Waterworks, shall I say, happen on the downside. And obviously me being long would be a silly idea. Make sense? So therefore, again, I need to be careful what's actually going on here. Same for if people are short this market, like here we go, this is the top, right? People are short the market all the way up. Short, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, right? It's going to be the top, going to be the top. Not yet, right? We need a lower high. Because you guys that are short, thinking that we're going to see the top here, if we do start to get something like this, guess what? We're no longer in that downward trend, are we? No, we're just back making previous highs again. If you are short and we start to break by previous highs, then you can ignore reality by staying short, but you're not going to ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And that is we're probably going to see a big blow off move for the rest of this year. So always be responsive respond to what the market is doing. And a lot of the times we can sit back and then what's the market going to do here? And then we can watch it unfold for a little bit. And then when we get a bit more of a clearer signal, that's when we can start to become part of this great move. And same for the Dow Jones as well too, right? The Dow Jones is actually a big one. Big one. I'm noticing, look at this here. I'm noticing that we're having this major level of support level all through here. And we're having a lot of support all through here as well too, all through here. And we're sort of bouncing here, bouncing. If indeed, guys, this is a lower high, again, waterworks. But if it's not, again, and this is where we need to see what the market tells us, if it's not going to be that, guys, and we do start to break above previous highs, and we start to do something like that, we start to get back up, we start to, what is that previous highs, right? 35. I was going to say, yeah, if we start to break up above, if we start to make a new high this year, New high this year, new high forever, right? not just this year, right? Forever. Then get ready for fireworks, right? Get ready, because then we're probably likely to evacuate this position because we spend so much time just bouncing around this level, really not doing much, and then we're likely to see a crazy finish then this year. So both be prepared, guys, okay? We're going to really be careful of what's going on here. Now, moving over now through to silver, and silver could be getting ready for a flash crash. This is actually dangerous, because if people are long silver right now and they're not seeing where we are, we're right at this support level. So I wouldn't be too surprised, guys, if we started to see some really sharp short-term movement, sharp drop coming out of silver, because we're likely to break these lows level through here. Now, what happens after that? Question mark. But we hit it once, bounce, hit it twice, bounce, hit it 3 times, bounce. Now we're coming back down to it. Now we're doing this. Guys, get ready, because there's massive probability now we're likely to have a hard and fast flush down, especially silver. Silver is a bit of a wildcat. So we could actually expect to see a very big sharp move to the downside out of this. So it's something that I'm just watching right now. So why do people say be careful of that? All I say is that if you are long right now, short term, please have some stops in place, or have, when in doubt, get out. And if you are in any position right now, please have some level where you're going to get out. So, okay, if it gets here, I'm going to get out. Okay. If you are in a position in any market out there, that's this period, right? I'm not going to say be careful. What does that even mean? Be careful. Be careful. It's like, no. Screw the whole be careful thing, right? It's like, what does that even mean? Be careful. Like, no. If you are long these markets right now, then you need to have some sort of place in stop. Don't just be buying a position. It's like, okay, I'm just going to hold it for the rest of this year because I know it's eventually going to go up. Like, no, okay? Be smart around now that's long-term investing where you're buying and you're seeing what's going to happen over the next 5 years. Yeah, that's different, right? But if you're in a trading mentality where you're going to hold even for a couple of months, then you must have a good old stop in place, because I promise you that if you don't have that stop in place, what was now a small loss is going to be a big loss. So hope this helped you out today, guys. Make sure you go to that very first link in the description. And that's going to send you over to a page where you can get a $7 sale. $7, like $7, guys. Okay, to my trading course. It's a sale right now. And I promise you're going to absolutely love it. And you know what? I guarantee you that you're going to get the biggest breakthroughs you've ever seen that you need in this particular trading course. And if you don't, and if you're not happy, guess what? You can email me and say, John, you suck. I want my money back. And guess what? And then I'll let you keep the trading course for free, just as a way of saying thank you for trying it out and taking the $7 sale. Because the $7 is not going to change my life, guys. But it's going to change yours. First thing in the description, guys. Go get it right now, and I'll speak to you in the next video.